I believe there's a high potential that the top of the markets are in now. And Presidents Trump and Xi are this game of chicken that they're doing with the world economy is very dangerous, and that may have triggered. I've said that this is the spooky month, that we're in October, that this could be the beginning of a crash. And I think that it's very possible that President Xi, all of the rare earth exports to all of the countries on the planet, which can just cripple economies all over the world, Trump's response with tariffs. But right now, it seems like every single day, there's some executive order that just upsets the world economy.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, today I want to talk about gold and its ability to help us through geopolitical turmoil, because we are witnessing the fall of empires around the world. And the one thing that has protected people for centuries and even millennia is gold. So let's take a look at that. The Chinese had a great strategy: dump U.S. treasuries and buy gold. So yeah, this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing here. The CIA uncovers a Chinese plot to just sit back and accumulate gold. So they figured it out.
Yeah. And, the speculation is that China really has maybe double the amount of gold that they report. The amount of gold that goes into China, it's all very suspicious. And we know that basically they lie all the time. And you can see it in the chart where the gold stocks take these sudden jumps. They don't report, or they report that they didn't accumulate any. And then they said, oh, yeah, well, we actually did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen estimates ranging anywhere from 6,000 tons in China to 20,000 tons. And the U.S. has, officially about 8,000 tons. So possibly China has more than the U.S., possibly not. We'll see.
There's a whole bunch you can go to the World Gold Council and you can get a report on how much gold every country holds. But that isn't as important as how much gold per citizen. If you are second place to the U.S., but you own all your gold yourself, and there's 330 million that have to share it in the U.S., then you're the richest, not the U.S. It isn't the total number of ounces. It's the ounces per capita that counts more. And the U.S., I think, places, where was it, like number 12 or something, isn't it? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember the number, but it's not number one, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing to remember is you can do that yourself. Think about how many ounces you have per person in your family, right? That's a number that matters probably even more than your own country. So,
well, if you've got one, you've got more than the average. That's also important. And if you collect silver instead, and then follow the gold-silver ratio, and then convert to gold, down when it drops to 20 or below, you'll be getting 4-5 times more gold than you paid for. And that's been my strategy, and it's working out really well so far.
Absolutely.
China has quietly implemented a powerful economic maneuver: sell U.S. treasuries, buy gold. Official reports claim around 2,300 metric tons, but analysts estimate 6,000 to 20,000 tons may be hidden inside China's reserves and state-controlled banks. Sudden jumps in gold stockpiles, without transparent reporting, suggest aggressive covert accumulation. If accurate, China could already surpass the U.S. in gold backing. But the real metric isn't total reserves, it's gold per citizen. When averaged per capita, countries like Switzerland and Germany rank higher than the U.S. The lesson for individuals: wealth protection starts with personal gold ownership, not government gold.
From Gold Telegraph, Federal Reserve Bank of New York president says central banks must prepare for the unexpected. In moments of disorder, remember, gold shines the brightest. So what he's referring to here is a speech from John Williams, president and CEO. Prepare for the unexpected. And basically he says that, the Federal Reserve and central banks more broadly have faced unprecedented crises in the last 20 years, Euro crisis, Russia invading Ukraine, COVID-19, all these different problems. And so they can't forecast what's going to happen next. Absolutely anything could come. And so they need to be prepared to use absolutely every tool in their toolkit, including the most extreme emergency measures. So Prepare for the unexpected. And what does that mean for individual investors? Probably hold gold. That's how you make it through all of these crises.
Yep. Gold and silver. Silver is more volatile, but on the onset of a crisis, it can fall like it did in 2008 and just like it did in the COVID crash. But that's just another opportunity.
Exactly. Hold a little bit of both.
Just know that if there's a big crisis and things are going south for everything else, eventually gold and silver turn around and go north.
Yeah, that's right.
Central banks worldwide now admit they can't predict what's next. From the global financial crisis of 2008 to COVID-19 and new military conflicts, the unexpected has become normal. The New York Fed recently warned that authorities must be ready for emergency responses using extreme measures. For everyday investors, that message is clear. Own assets that survive uncertainty. Gold thrives when confidence collapses. Silver, more volatile, often crashes first, then surges dramatically as recovery begins. Balanced stacking provides resilience. Gold for stability, silver for explosive opportunity. Crises come fast. Recovery rewards the prepared.
Also, from Carl B. Manger, it took the U.S. 100 years to do what the Roman Empire did in 250 years. It's not looking good, folks. And what he's talking about is currency devaluation. So we are here. We're this green line. This is the U.S. dollar losing its value precipitously, even faster than Rome lost the value in the silver denarius. So we're debasing.
Okay, there's some dynamics going on here. When in the Roman silver denarius, this is currency that's in circulation. And the only way to debase the currency supply was to take in coins in taxes, melt them down, and add copper to the silver. And eventually they just became a copper slug with a silver wash on it. Like, all of our coinage today looks sort of silvery colored, but we know it's just a copper slug.
The Roman Empire destroyed itself with relentless currency debasement, replacing silver with cheap metals until money became nearly worthless. Today, governments achieve the same outcome with far greater speed. Instead of melting coins, they simply type trillions into existence. Printing money may feel like support, but it silently steals purchasing power. The US dollar has lost over 98% of its buying power in the last century. When currencies decline, wealth doesn't disappear. It transfers to those holding hard assets. History warns, the closer money gets to being worthless, the closer an empire is to losing control.
With that green line, that's a national fiat currency, and we've got a printing press and a keyboard. And so you can actually dilute the entire... When you had coinage, say you were able to take 3%, or how many coins were pulled out of circulation in taxes at any given moment, and were not out in the public circulating, maybe 1%, that they get to melt down and do deficit spending, dilute. They take 1,000 coins in, they dilute it with 50% copper, and they can spend 2,000 coins. And so they're deficit spending just like we are today, except they're limited to how many coins they can actually melt. They can't dilute the entire currency supply and debase all of those coins that aren't in the government possession during the time of while those coins are going through the taxation before they get spent. With fiat currency, though, you can just type, like Ben Bernanke did, just type $1 trillion or $2 trillion into existence. And, one of the people that I've been able to interview, that was back in 2023, is Joseph Wang, and he was the chief trader at the New York Fed. So he is the one person on earth that has been able to spend more dollars than any human ever in history. He got to spend, he did those QEs. So he got to spend trillions of dollars. And the dollars he spent were made up when he typed them into existence. They didn't exist until the moment his fingers hit that keyboard.
Yeah, it's incredible. We've got new technology that allows us to debase like never before.
Right, but it would be like if the Roman government was able to change the silver content in all of the coins in circulation simultaneously. We have the ability to do that devalue. If you want to devalue the dollar instantly, just double the quantity. And if you want to devalue 50%, double the quantity. Prices will very quickly adjust. If you double the quantity and put it out in circulation, prices will double to compensate for that, and therefore the dollar will have been devalued by 50%.
Exactly. And so the big takeaway when we look at this is what happens next. You're so close to zero. There's not much further to fall. So take care of yourself, people. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, this causes the rise of dictators and the fall of empires.
Exactly.
Throughout history, collapsing monetary systems led to political chaos, civil unrest, and leadership overturn. While nations fall, elites preserve wealth by shifting into gold and land. Rome's wealthy did it. French aristocrats did it. Global elites are doing it today, quietly, while media stays silent. Recent gold price surges in reserve currencies signal a deep loss of faith in the current financial order. This is a turning point, a global restructuring of wealth and power. Those holding real value rise with the new system. Those trapped in fiat assets often lose everything.
Jeff Park asks, has there ever been another time in history when the government broke and everyone else got rich? There's a lesson in there. And George replied, when Rome debased its currency, the senators hoarded gold and land while the empire burned. Same playbook, new costumes.
Yep.
Exactly.
I don't have that much to comment there, but you can just get on the same side of things. You just got to protect yourself because you're not going to be able to do anything about the way the government operates. And we as individuals are not going to be able to turn this around. All we can do is try to benefit off of it for ourselves and our loved ones.
Yep. Hold real assets and we'll be part of the rebuilding process.
Yes.
Yeah. Arnaud Bertrand says, I was studying other times in history when gold prices more than doubled in the reserve currency of the time as they did in the past year. It's rare and almost always a sign of a profound loss of confidence in the existing monetary and political order, going all the way back to the Roman Empire, the so-called crisis of the 3rd century. And it often marked the transition from one era of power to the next. The fall of Rome, Spain's decline from world power, the French Revolution and Terror, and the end of Bretton Woods. Interestingly, it's often actually as much a cause as a sign of these episodes. And this is effectively a transfer of real wealth from the poor to the rich elites who protect themselves with gold. This being what ignites the political upheaval. The weird aspect of the current episode is the relative silence around it. We're witnessing what may be one of the great pivotal moments in financial history, yet it's barely being discussed.
Yeah, well, it's been my mission all along is to save the middle class one investor at a time before a major financial crisis. And Ben Bernanke did not let the last major financial crisis play out to its end. He papered over it, creating a very weak foundation for the rally that happened afterwards, which is all a fake rally that the entire stock market, everything that has gone on since 2008 is built on weak and shifting sands. I believe there's a high potential that the top of the markets are in now. And Presidents Trump and Xi are this game of chicken that they're doing with the world economy is very dangerous. And that may have triggered, I've said that this is the spooky month, that we're in October, that this could be the beginning of a crash. And I think that it's very possible that President Xi, all of the rare earth exports to all of the countries on the planet, which can just cripple economies all over the world, Trump's response with tariffs. But right now, it seems like every single day, there's some executive order that just upsets the world economy.
The 2008 crisis never resolved. It was patched with money printing. Markets reached artificial highs built on fragile foundations. Today, geopolitical rivalry between the US and China, resource restrictions, sanctions weapons, and collapsing supply chains all contribute to potential systemic failure. We are entering the spooky months of the global economy, where confidence can vanish suddenly and panic becomes contagious. Individuals cannot control governments, but they can control preparedness. Holding physical gold and silver places you on the right side of history, with those who rebuild, not those who are wiped out.